we're here again. Shout out to the subscribers. Thank you for viewing. Today we're gonna get on the topic of ethnocide, which is a form of cultural genocide and destruction of your identity, or we call it what it's also known as forced assimilation. So, in any scenario where you are directly or indirectly forced to do something against your will, that in itself is a form of forced assimilation or ethnocide, okay? And it's further degrading who you are as a people, your identity, in any manner they use to force you into a situation, whether if you're on the job, whether you're doing a job or anywhere you're at, or anything you're doing, anyone or any collective that forces or indirectly forces you to make a decision against your will, that in itself is a form of genocide, ethnocide, and forced assimilation. Alright, so let's get to it. This is the from the American Bar Association website. Okay, so ethnocide is the destruction of culture while keeping the people. The term was first coined by Raphael Lemkin in 1944. Lemkin was a Polish Jew, celebrated human rights attorney who escaped Europe for America as the Nazi Party rose to power. While in America, he worked to raise awareness of the horrors befalling his people, as the American military and government remained slow to act and understand the severity of the atrocity consuming Europe. Lemkin concluded that he needed to coin a word to clarify the barbarity of the large-scale systematic killing perpetrated by the Nazis. To do so, he invented the words genocide and ethnocide to articulate this crime that previously went unnamed. Okay? So, and this is 1944, around the time when they formulate what's known as UN, which was first called the League of Nations, right? The League of Nations have a large involvement in colonizing certain land masses as well, alright? They just changed the name to United Nations to kind of, to backtrack and cover up their tracks on what they participated in previously, alright? In 1944, Lemkin's book, Axis Rule in Occupied Europe, Genocide, appeared in print for the first time, and ethnocide appeared in the footnotes as an equivalent substitute. Lemkin envisioned that genocide and ethnocide would be interchangeable because the targets for this previously undefined murder and terror were both a people genus, right? So this is a breakdown of the word. Genus means people, with a specific culture, nation, and ethnicity, ethnos, right, within the international legal community. However, the concept of ethnocide became subsumed into genocide because when a people are exterminated or forcefully removed from their home, their culture also dies with them for the rest of his life. Lemkin worked to make genocide an integral concept within international law. Yet his second word remained essentially dormant until a new definition emerged. In the 1970s, a small segment of European anthropologists, including Robert Jolin and Pierre Clasters, started applying new interpretation of ethnocide that focused on the intentional destruction of culture while keeping the people. The culture dies, but the people remain. Okay? Who does that sound like, people? The culture dies, but the people remain. Okay, and then they make the stories up about transatlantic BS. All right. And this framework has remained the new understanding of ethnocide ever since. This interpretation was initially used to describe the impact of colonization and forced assimilation. Okay, forced assimilation. So ethnocide is the same as forced assimilation on indigenous people around the world. The Dignity Rights Initiative and its collaborator, the Sustainable Culture Lab, use this definition of ethnocide, but also expand its application to include the transatlantic slave trade. Right, so this is where they throw the monkey wrench in the whole thing. All right, and let's see, pardon me, where was I? And the entrenched divisions and exploitative norms that have tragically been foundational to the societies of the Americas. Okay? So, the transatlantic slave trade, intentional work to destroy the culture of African people, but keep the people. Okay? European colonizers prevent African people from speaking their languages. Okay? So this is where they started put throw the whole shit in the monkey wrench in the whole shit, right? Yeah, but that was just a little interpretation of what's going on currently. Okay, proper terminology for it. Also, please read the UNDRIP, the ADRIP, and the ICCPR. Right, very important documents. Okay, so I'm gonna leave you with this, and you go do your research. Peace out.